A year ago, I did a video which ended up becoming one of the most viewed videos on the channel where I showed you my top 10 signed Funko Pops of 2023. And as you can probably guess, I'm here to do it again today and show you my top 10 signed Funko Pops of 2024. And let me tell you, it has been a mental year and it absolutely blows 2023 out of the water. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Unlike last year, this year, we actually got more than 10 Funko Pops signed. So we had more of a list to build. There was more options to choose from. Some really great pops had to miss out. But we do have 4 honourable mentions before we get into the 10. I had to mention all 4 of these pops in the video and show them off because they all have a reason for being an honourable mention, but also why they didn't make the top 10. First of which is this Norman Reedus signed Daryl with Chopper Funko Pop. My first private signing. Daryl Dixon, obviously I love The Walking Dead, I love Norman Reedus, but because this was a private signing, because I didn't meet him in person, is why this hasn't made the top 10. But I'm super glad to have this pop in my collection. So happy with it. The red looks amazing. It's got JSA authentication on it, and I'm so glad I've got this in my Walking Dead collection. Now we've just got to add him to the poster when he eventually does a con and comes over to the UK. The second honourable mention, for pretty much the same reason, is this Seer signed by John Kavanagh. John Kavanagh won't be doing any cons anytime soon, or possibly even ever, and when Magpie Toys had this private sign in there, I had to get a pop. As you guys know, I'm trying to hit the full Vikings set. I did get Rollo this year. He doesn't enter into the top 10. Spoilers there. But we just need Catherine and Travis now after getting this Seer. And the reason I had to mention it is because I am pretty sure I am the only person with a double quoted Seer with character name. And it's so cool because I'm trying to get all the Vikings set done. This was a super hard one to add. Not as hard as Travis will be because he is like a unicorn and doesn't appear anywhere, but super happy to add this into the collection and super happy to have got it signed this year. Another pop which I featured on the channel, didn't get its own video, wasn't in a convention vlog, is this pop right here. I love this pop, but there are some drawbacks to it. It is a Tom Hardy signed Bane NFT. And I'm not gonna lie, this, for a street graph, my mate got me this, is one of the best street graphs of Tom Hardy I have ever seen. It was such a clean window, which is why I said in the short, I had to pick this Funko Pop up. But the drawbacks for me, it is a window swap. I have had to have the sticker swapped and it is peeling a bit because of the adhesive. But because this is a window swap pop, because it is in blue and because of the sticker peeling is why this hasn't entered the top 10. As you guys will know, I love the Dark Knight trilogy. I love Tom Hardy as Bane, and I am going to be getting this pop graded and encapsulated by Swal very soon, so keep an eye on the channel for when that video comes out. But yeah, this just missed out on the top 10 for those exact reasons. And now the last pop. For those of you who've watched the channel, you may be surprised to learn this hasn't made the top 10 for this year, but I have my reasons. I know. Brutal. My PSA 10 autograph, Bill Nye Davy Jones with a drawing of his hat. Why hasn't this made the top 10? Simply because I did not meet him. I know I may never get the chance to meet him, and he is such a, well, when I got him, he was a rare autograph, but then a lot more windows came onto the market, but I'm pretty sure I'm the only person to have got a drawing, and obviously this is a PSA 10 autograph Funko Pop, but solely because I didn't get the chance to meet him is why this hasn't breached the top 10, because I'm going to be honest, the top 10, there is one of them which this arguably, or I'd say 3 of them which this arguably could have beat out not having met him. But there are just some really great pops, some really great meets and some really great stories into the top 10. So we're going to kick it off with number 10. Coming in, just entering the list, and I say just, is this Russell Crowe signed Zeus pop by Russell Crowe. And you may be wondering, I don't think I've actually really showcased this on the channel, but the story behind it is why this pop has entered into the top 10. Now, basically, Russell Crowe did a tour. He was touring around the UK and he actually came to my hometown of Warrington. And I decided that I was going to try graphing for the first time, waiting outside the venue before and after to try and get some autographs off the celebrity. In this case, it was Russell Crowe. Now, we were this close to succeeding before the venue, but some graphers had followed him from his hotel in Manchester and rushed him when he got out the car to sign for us, and did end up ruining the signing for everyone that had been waiting there for a good few hours. But what happened is, while waiting outside the event, just talking with some like-minded people, some nice friends that I know and have spoke to since, we actually met a very lovely gentleman who was going in as a VIP, and now Russell was signing 10 to 12 items in VIP for people who bought his VIP tickets, and this guy had just been like, no, I just wanted a photo with Russell. So me being me, the opportunist that I am, I asked him, hey mate, can you take some of my Funko Pops in and get them signed for us by Russell? It'd be massively appreciated. And this lovely gentleman said yes, and he took in my Zeus Funko Pop, as well as a friend of mine, Zeus Funko Pop, and a couple Gladiator Pops, and got them signed for us. So this is signed by Russell Crowe, and it is a really cool piece in my Marvel collection. I'm super happy that I managed to succeed. He did a little jiggery pokery at the end of the night and managed to slip away before anyone could get an autograph off him. But still, super happy to have this pop in my collection, and it's just the story behind it and the experience and lessons I learned that night that I'll take into graphing when hopefully Johnny Depp comes back to the UK or Jack Black comes back to the UK to tour, because those are autographs that I am desperately after and desperately want in my collection. This was a great starting point and a great learning point for me in terms of the graphing world and the different ways of collecting autographs. On to number 9. As long-time viewers of the channel will know, Star Wars and the original trilogy is one of my favourite movie trilogies of all time. It's something I grew up on. I'd actually probably rank it as my 3rd favourite trilogy ever, behind How to Train Your Dragon and the Dark Knight trilogy. And I got the opportunity this year to do a different kind of signing. Not a convention, not through the mail, not a street autograph. It was what I'm going to call it, a comic book store signing. And it was indeed Peter Serafinowicz at Forbidden Planet, and I went there originally to get my 25th anniversary poster signed, which he did sign, but then we also got the opportunity to go back round and get a Darth Maul and Bloodfin Speeder, another 25th anniversary, a 25th anniversary pop for the movie, and we got him to sign it with the quote, "At last we will have revenge," and got him to Darth Maul it on the side with his signature. Now, one day I am planning on hopefully adding Ray Park to this to complete it, because Peter's the voice, Ray is the body and the physical actor, but this is such a cool addition into my collection. As I said, we were told it was only one going into it, so I decided to poster over pop, but we managed to get a pop done on the day, and I was super happy. And for just £30, that was an absolute steal, considering he quoted it, character name. And I'm going to be honest, Peter was absolutely lovely. I'm not going to lie, I was still a bit nervy when going into these celebrity meetings when I met him, so I didn't really have a lot to say. He was laughing, he was joking with me, he was saying, oh, I'm going to sign like Darth Maul now, instead of just writing character name, I'm going to do a Darth Maul signature, which was pretty cool, which we got on the side of the pop and on the poster, which is double character named, which is weird. But yeah, Peter was such a lovely and such a nice bloke. I was a bit nervous to tell him that I wasn't actually going to a show in Birmingham. I was just going there to meet him, but he was super cool, super chill, such a nice guy. If he's ever around, I'd recommend meeting him, because he's absolutely lovely. But yeah, that, because I was a bit nervy when meeting him, is why this is only number 9 on the list. But yeah, still super happy and super glad to have this in the collection. Let's head to number 8. Now, pop number 8 comes from one of my childhood TV shows. When these two guests got announced, because this is a dual signed item for the UK, I was super happy to meet them and be able to add them to my collection. I haven't actually featured this item on the channel because I was an idiot and forgot to turn my GoPro on at the convention, so it didn't make its own vlog and didn't make the video. But in fairness to me, at the time when I went to that convention, I wasn't really in a positive or good headspace. Some people will know. I have got a video coming out later this year where I will explain everything that happened in that period, why I was so deflated in the Manchester vlog and why this vlog never came out. but still, because of the people on it, because of the pop it is, because of the series it is why this has made my top 10. And it is my Joey Wheeler, Wayne Grayson, and Megan Hollistead May signed Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Now, I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! And the anime as a kid, like I did Pokemon. And Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon was my favourite monster, favourite character, alongside Obelisk the Tormentor, and I went out my way to make sure I got the Hot Topic sticker, the 25th anniversary Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and I said, once these two got announced, when I got this pop, I was like, I'm going to make a cast piece. Instead of getting two separate pops signed by them, I'm going to get this a cast piece like I'm doing now with the Pokemon cast piece, which you'll be seeing soon. And obviously I need to meet these two because they're both in the Pokemon anime as well, so someone bring them back to the UK so I can meet them again. But the reason, as I said, why this pop isn't higher on the list is because I didn't really get much of an interaction with either of them. I think the con was a bit dead, and I think they were a bit down because it was a bit dead. They're both nice, they weren't mean, they weren't Shamik Moore, but I got more out of Wayne. He was like, this is a Blue Eyes, not a Red Eyes. And I said, hi, yeah, it's just a cast piece. Blue Eyes is my favourite monster. But yeah, I was in a bad headspace when I went to this con. I wasn't really in a chatty mood. I just wanted to get in and out. I wanted to get home and lie in my bed. But still, I was super happy that I managed to get myself out there, pick up these two autographs, and they look really, really cool. Next time, I am going to prime the pens better. As I think they're a bit oily, it looks like, but I got It's Wheeler Time, Joey, autograph, and May. Hopefully to add Dan Green and Eric Stewart to this eventually, and any other cast members, because MegaCon, I'm calling you out here. You were the leaders for anime guests, and now you've gone into all the botty TV shows that are at every convention in the country. Go back to the sick anime guests. You have a few at MegaCon in London, but you can do better. But yes, this is number 8. A pop I am so happy to have in my collection, and hopefully I can showcase it more in the future and add more voice actors to it. On to number 7. Coming in at number 7 is another pop from the weekend I would like to forget. Manchester Comic Con weekend. I'm not going to speak more about it, but considering the space I was in, I still had such a great interaction with this gentleman, and I'd love to meet him at another con. He is already booked for another Monopoly Con this year, one that I'm not at, but in the future I definitely do want to get a photo with him, and it is a Lord Shaxx Funko Pop signed by Lenny James. Destiny 1 was my thing. Before I got into Arc, back in the day, Destiny 1, I have so much, way too many hours, skipped school way too many times to play new releases, but I got a double quoted Lenny James Lord Shaxx in a beautiful orange paint pen, and this goes with my Nathan Fillion signed Decade 6, another man that I want to meet again for the rookie this time. But yeah, not a role Lenny James is particularly known for. Obviously, the Walking Dead poster as well, I got him for the Walking Dead, but he was such a nice guy, and that's why my interaction with him makes it onto the system, why this is so high. Spoke about my graduation, spoke about all the shows that I'd seen him in. He congratulated me on my graduation, gave me a very firm and nice handshake when I told him about it, and I told him about how The Walking Dead had helped me through that time period, the stress of exams and the stress of uni work, and he was just such a nice man. And if you ever get the chance to meet him at a convention, meet him. To be fair, I actually did hear mixed reviews from people. Some people said he didn't seem very interested, didn't seem very nice, but when I spoke to him, I got the most out of him. He was lovely and really nice, and I couldn't say a bad word about the experience, and one of the highlights of what was a pretty terrible weekend for me. But yeah, this makes it in at number 7. Let's head to number 6. From one absolutely top bloke to another, we have another Walking Dead guest, another absolutely brilliant meet, one of my favourites of the year. And it is Carey Payton, King Ezekiel, back again with the double quote, and yet I smile. And then the quote, which I'm going to read from the side, it's not too late to walk back from something decided. And we also got the double character name. We didn't actually get the paw print from him, which I've just realised now, but it doesn't really matter. Double quote, double character name, and he was just an absolute gem. So engaging, so nice, had such a great long conversation with him. Anyone who's watched the vlog, he was definitely the highlight of it. One of those, I was like, because I was meeting him, I heard such good things about him. I was like, I'm getting a pop, I'm getting a pop, I'm getting a pop, I'm getting more out of him, meeting him more. I wish I had took some more consignments to get some more time with him, but he was an absolute gem, and that interaction is why this has made it so high on the list. I'm not really... Walking Dead pops aren't my priority. The poster's my priority. I've only got Walking Dead pops for a few of my favourite characters and a few people I want to meet more, and some of my favourite actual people to interact with from things I've heard. One I'm looking forward to is Ross Marquardt Aaron. I want to meet that man. I've heard such great things about him in videos. He's someone who I really, really want to meet, and I hope this year I don't miss out on him. Obviously, this year just gone, 2024, I missed out on him because I had surgery and I couldn't make it down to Wales to go see him. But this year I will, hopefully. But yeah, Carey Payton, he was just so nice, and he really liked my choice of quote on the side. We spoke about it, I think I've already mentioned that. But yeah, this is such a cool one into my Walking Dead collection. We have a few more pops that I will hopefully be getting this year. I've got the Maggie in the background that I'm waiting for Laura Cohen to be rebooked for. Monopoly, what are you doing? Get her back. But yeah, we're waiting on her. Hopefully Josh McDermott makes his way over this year. Ross Marquardt, as I said. JDM eventually. Rosita's been rebooked for this year, so I may get a pop from her. We're going to Germany. We may get Abraham Ford, Michael Kudlitz. We'll see. But Carey Payton, absolute gem, which is why he's number 6. Coming in at the halfway point in my list is a lady that I met very recently, and I'm not ashamed to say it's one of my celebrity crushes, and I got to meet her at Comic-Con Liverpool. You probably know who it is, Freya Allen, and we got a double quoted series. We didn't get the character's name, which I don't really care about, but she, for anyone who's watched the video, she was an absolute gem. She was so nice, so engaging, and the reason this pop is really cool is some people didn't get quotes, and I got 2. But yes, Freya Allen, one of my celebrity crushes, and I'm not gonna lie to you lads, I was absolutely melting when meeting her. A few of my friends around the convention scene watched the video and took the mick out of me. Some lad said to me, the dog sob story always works. But yeah, so we had such a great interaction with Freya. Got a pop for myself, a poster for myself, we did a photo op, we did a selfie, and then got a consignment as well for her, and she was super lovely. Always lost, never found, and then the long quote on the side, I'm supposed to be going towards someone, but instead I'm running from someone else. If you'll have seen the video, I left the cheeky post-it note on the side for the quote, and she saw it and she was like, oh, do you want me to do it? I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, I'll remove it. She's like, no, I'll do it if you want. And I was like, yeah, okay, do it. And she's like, oh, how are we gonna fit? I was like, try it sideways. If you mess it up, I don't really mind. But yeah, she did it, and this pop in the yellow is so beautiful, and it looks so good. I'm probably I'm gonna get this encapsulated. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm gonna get this encapsulated when I send my stuff off to SWOW for the video. This one is definitely going to be encapsulated. It's such a beautiful pop. I love it in my collection. But yeah, the fact that I got to meet one of my celebrity crushes, get a photo with her, get a pop signed by her, and a poster was just absolutely incredible. And as I said, another one that, again, I heard mixed reviews about. I saw a TikTok where some guy said he didn't really get much out of her. A friend of mine said she didn't engage with him, but I mean, talking from my own experience, I had a brilliant time meeting her. Absolutely loved it. So happy with how all the items came out. She was super accommodating, super lovely, super talkative. Photos came out great. And yeah, I don't really have a bad word to say. And I was absolutely buzzing when I met her. And I'm not ashamed to say that. But yeah, let's head to number 4. As I've said, Star Wars is one of my favorite franchises. And I had to pick a pop to go in this list from Star Fury Invasion. One of my favorite conventions of the year. My first time doing a hotel convention where you stay overnight, you see the guests over the 2 days. What a great experience it was. And I'm gonna be honest, I met some people at that convention that I still talk to now, I'm great friends with. And I met some absolutely wonderful people at that event and had such a good time. Now, this pop does come with a bit of a downside. I'm gonna show it you first and then I'm gonna explain. It is my Eman Esfandi Funko Pop. It is, you won't have seen the short yet, the short will be coming, but I did indeed get this window swapped. I had it on the original Ezra Pop, and then the Ahsoka Pop came out after. We do have Eman signing it on the back. We've got the double colour, double character name, double quote, and it is such a great pop, and it even looks brilliant with the window swap. My mate Neo did such a good job with this. But yeah, the caveat with this pop is my GoPro died, so I didn't get the full conversation with him recorded. It's only a small negative, but Eman from the meet and greet, remembering me at the table, was absolutely lovely. We spoke about Pokemon. He took a picture of my shiny Rayquaza and my Game Boy I was playing in the room, and was super accommodating. And as a person, he's took to the Star Wars community like no one else. He's an absolutely brilliant meet, and if you see him at a convention, go and meet him. He was so cheap at this event, which is why I ended up picking up a pop, and I'm so glad I did. This is genuinely one of my favourite pops in my collection, not just on this list. You'll understand seeing the next three why it was beaten out, but this easily last year could have been number one. This easily this year could have been number one. That's how competitive this list is from this year. But yeah, hi Hera, I'm home, Ezra Bridger, the Force is my ally. That's all I need, Jabba the Hutt. Eman Esfandi, you're an absolute legend, absolute true gentleman, and next time he's at a convention, I'm going to be getting a photo with him with a shiny Rayquaza wrapped around us, because we had a little laugh about that, and gutted I couldn't order one to the hotel to do it. But yeah, so happy with this pop, super happy with the window swap. This is one I'm going to cherish, and hopefully I can complete an Ahsoka set of 6 very soon. But yes, on to the top 3. Regular viewers of the channel will probably, when this video came up in their feed, have guessed the top 3, most definitely the top 2. But here we have number 3. I'm going to show it you, and it kind of is going to be self-explanatory why this has entered the top 3, and I'll get further into why this is number 3 on the list. Ralph Fiennes and Jason Isaacs signed Movie Moments Harry Potter Funko Pop. I got a quote off Ralph Fiennes at his first ever convention, a headliner, and it looks absolutely beautiful. And then as well, Jason Isaacs, I managed to get him last minute on the day. Liverpool Comic Con was such a great experience, the one in November. Ralph Fiennes is such an iconic villain. Jason Isaacs was lovely as well. And the fact that I managed to get the quote I wanted on the front in the beautiful lime green paint pen just makes this pop all that more special. I one day want to add Daniel Radcliffe right there, and hopefully add oh my god, Robert Pattinson on the side to complete this pop. But it is such an iconic pop in my collection. I don't really like going for the bigger pops, but this one is so cool. Obviously, Rafe was a bit quiet. It was his first convention. I heard he was a bit nervous, but he was still super nice, nicer than some other con regulars that I've met. But it was such a good experience to meet such a great and acclaimed actor. I was just gutted I didn't have my Skyfall script back in time to get signed by him. Hopefully one day he decides to do another if he enjoyed it. But if he doesn't, I was glad I managed to meet him the one time he did one. And again, I'm going to cherish this pop. When I eventually move and build a new display, this is going to be a centerpiece in that. And it is just one of my favorite Funko Pops in my collection now. And the top 3 of this year is very hard to beat. It's very hard to beat, but this is number 3. Let's head to the top 2, and you can probably guess what they both are. Now, the top 2 Funko Pops. My biggest video on the channel this year, my best experience I've had this year, both of these Funko Pops came from. And you can probably guess what I am talking about. It is the Deadpool and Wolverine premiere, where we met Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, and I got them both on a Funko Pop and then got them graded, which was another one of the biggest videos on the channel this year. And they had to be the top 2. They had to be. I got them on the poster, I got them on the pops, I got 2 autographs off both of them, met them at the premiere for one of the biggest movies of this year, one of my favourite movies of all time. They had to make the top 2. Now, which one's going to be first and which one's going to be second? I'm going to drag it out a bit longer because I'm going to tell you a story of something that happened at the premiere, which I am absolutely gutted about. We were with a disabled person on crutches, so we got to use the downstairs bar where all the celebrities were. We saw Rob Delaney, Emma Corrin, Sean Levy, Wendy Jacobson, the other director that I forgot his name. And when we were told to go back to our seats, I opened the door and there was Ryan and Hugh. While I had 3 beers in my hand, and I said, "Oh my God, Hugh, can I get a photo?" And he said, "Yes." Ryan was next to me. They both posed for the photo. I opened the camera, tried to turn off live and turn on flash. By the time I'd done it, security straight in the back, 2 hands, pushed down the hallway, and I'd missed my opportunity. All because I had beers in my hand and couldn't get it out in time. I should have bloody thrown the beers on the floor just to get the photo, but the only annoying thing from that whole event, but this was a very hard decision about which to put first and which to put second, and it might surprise you which one's which. I'm gonna start with number 2. Hugh Jackman signed Wolverine. Now, this is the only one in paint pen. This was the longer interaction. Hugh did pick up the paint pen and do it in paint pen for me. The reason why this is number 2 is purely because of what the actors are to me. I love Hugh, I love The Greatest Showman. I'm not gonna lie to you, I watched Logan, love Logan. I didn't really watch the X-Men. I didn't grow up on the X-Men. Didn't watch the X-Men. I don't really have the same connection to the X-Men as other people do. But Hugh was lovely. I got it in paint pen. It is a bit annoying, it's smudged because he dropped the pen on it. But still, this is such an iconic autograph in the collection, one I don't think I'll ever sell. Same with the poster, just because of what it means to me, the sentimental value it has to me and where it places among the experiences I've had in this absolutely mental hobby that I have picked up and embraced. But yeah, that's why Hugh makes it at number 2. And then at number 1, the man I tried to get in America, one of my favourite actors. I loved Deadpool. I loved his performance as Deadpool. Ryan freaking Reynolds, number 1 on this list. I'm still, as you can see, I'm beaming just even picking up this Funko Pop. I got him on the poster, I got him on the pop, and I am so happy. I got this encapsulated and graded, and I love this pop, and I'm going to cherish this pop. Obviously, it is in Sharpie, it isn't the best autograph, but I got this myself. I got this myself, I was there, I got this signed. That is why it is number 1, because it's Ryan freaking Reynolds, and I got him on a Deadpool pop, I met him in person, and I got this signed. This is, I'm gonna say it is probably my favourite Funko Pop in my collection. Hands down, period. And I'm still amazed and grateful that I got the opportunity to meet him. And I'm so blessed in the people that I've met over the 2 years of being in this hobby. I've met some absolutely brilliant people. Some people that I call friends, some people that I talk to on the daily, and I'm still so grateful for everything that this hobby has brought me, and this is a reminder of it. Again, I will always be indebted to Neo. I'm sure he probably won't watch this, or he might, we'll never know, for taking me to this premiere, but this is just, stuff like this is a reminder to me of how wonderful this community that I've built is, and the autograph collecting and convention community as a whole, how brilliant and how great it is, and how lucky I am to be a part of it, even in the tiniest part. But yeah, and this pop will always remind me of that, because it was a guy who I met randomly at a convention, who I became friends with, who invited me to this, and then I got to meet one of my favourite actors, got to get a pop signed by him, and I've become friends with him and talked to him on the daily. And Again, this journey that we've took building this channel, speaking to people, this community, it's just honestly been incredible, and I'm so happy and for what we've built, and then where this is going to go in the next year, because I tell you, we're going to keep going, we're going to keep striving for more, we're going to up the levels, be greater, be better, but yeah, and I don't know why this has gone from a top 10 Funko Pop ranking to an absolute sobfest by me, but it has. But the number one for this year, 2024, a Ryan Reynolds signed Deadpool pop. I can't, if you'd have told me this time last May, when I did my first ever convention, that I'd be saying that into a camera, wearing a microphone, a proper professional microphone, holding a graded Ryan Reynolds Funko Pop, I'd have told you were absolutely nuts. But then again, life works in mysterious ways, and stuff happens every day that we never thought would happen. It's just how we adapt, change, and take advantage of situations. But yes, that has been it for the top 10, my top 10 signed Funko Pops of 2024. Trust me when I say this, 2025 is going to be mental. Maybe not as mental as the top 2, but it's going to be mental, because I've literally got a pop arriving on Monday, which is, when you see how much it cost me, it's going to make your eyes water. So keep an eye out on the channel for that. But yeah, super happy, super grateful, and here's to another year of Funko Pop collecting and collecting in general. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.